What's up, everybody? Couchmills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we gotta talk about a problem, and it's the fact that you keep whiffing your shots. People run around a corner and you're spraying all over the place. You see an enemy that's not even looking at you and you paint their body only to get turned on and murdered. And it's happening to you and everyone else in your games. So we're gonna fix that right now. But if you like the content, please go support the channel by checking out the GameLeap website where you'll find tons of in-depth VOD reviews you won't find anywhere else. Go check it out, but thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people like to do. They like to grind endless aim trainers, unlimited deathmatch, and snort 500 milligrams of G Fuel off their 500 hertz monitor, but no matter what they do, it doesn't help. You see, there are a lot of really fundamental problems that could be messing up your aim that have nothing to do with any of that. So let's break that down so that your aim will be on point and you can actually start to develop yourself and improve. Because if you still do these things, you don't fix these things, you'll never climb. Now, most of y'all know common angles. Y'all know how to jiggle peek, y'all know how to counter strafe, and you know what angles to pre-aim. That being said, you're still pre-aiming angles incorrectly. Something that a lot of people do incorrectly is that they peek angles diagonally. Something that you have to understand is if you know where an enemy is at, you need to be peeking directly from left to right. The reason that you want to do this is on their screen, you're going to move the maximum amount, and because it's clean and precise on their screen, you're going to be moving the furthest amount, and you're going to be abusing that peeker's advantage to give yourself the best shot at killing the enemy. The problem with peeking diagonally is on their screen, you're actually partially moving forward, and even though you're moving a lot, you're moving that distance a lot slower because you're actually just coming closer to them. You're not moving across their screen. This is a really important concept that you have to get right. And that's why if you know where an enemy is, don't peek them moving diagonally or at them. Move that point A to point B, left to right or right to left. Now, the next problem that's happening with a lot of you is that you're holding an angle too tight or holding an angle at all. Honestly, because of Peeker's advantage in Valorant and time to kill, you really don't want to be holding angles all that much. It's typically far better for you to be jiggle peeking angles consistently, doing that point A to point B counter strafe that we talked about, that left to right counter strafe, to gather information and potentially kill an enemy so that you could abuse that Peeker's advantage rather than just holding an angle. Because if you're holding an angle and an enemy finds out where you are, or they just pre-aim an angle after they do that point A to point B peek, because of Peeker's advantage, they're gonna kill you almost every single time. Now you might be asking, okay, does that mean that I can never hold an angle? Well, that's not true. There are two big scenarios where you should be holding an angle rather than peeking it. The first one is if you're a duelist that has a way to get out and you're holding an off angle. That can be incredibly powerful on a character like Jet or Reyna, where an enemy comes in, they don't know where you are, they don't know where to expect you, get a kill and you dash out or you fade out on Reyna. That can be really good to hold an angle, but it has to be an off angle, an unexpected angle that they have no idea that you would hold that. The next example and the last example to hold an angle is if you are going to be far outside their effective range. You can hold an angle with an op, for example, if they have a rifle. You can hold an angle with a rifle, for example, if they have a Spectre. This is going to mean that it doesn't matter that they get first shot on you, because as long as you have that angle locked down, you're still going to be able to kill them faster than they kill you. Now, the next problem that's happening all over the place is people are using crouching as a crutch. Now, here's the thing about crouching. You can crouch in a 1v1 engagement. It can actually be pretty good if enemies have their crosshair placement head level, which is going to happen as you climb. Crouching can be a way to actually avoid that, and you could peek angles really aggressively that way. Jiggle peek an angle, crouch an angle, and in a perfect 1v1, you can use it to also control your recoil to help you get a kill that you may have not been able to one-tap the enemy with. That being said, the problem with crouching is it completely commits you to a duel. If you're completely committed to a duel, it's very difficult for you to move, reposition, and challenge someone else. And you're all in on that. So if your spray gets out of control, by the time you uncrouch and move, you're already gonna die. So you need to understand that it's something that you can use in very particular situations, but most of the time it's going to be far better for you to practice recoil control rather than using your crouch all the time and then trying to move every single reset of your burst. That's going to lead us directly into the next tip that we have for you, which is recoil control, and it's basically non-existent. Not a lot of people are practicing recoil control, and it's so damn important. While yes, there's a certain amount of RNG that comes with your gun once you spray for a certain amount of time, for at least those first 6 bullets, you can pretty consistently control your recoil, at the very least to get body shots from mid-range on rifles. One tip that I would suggest for you is watch where your bullet is going, not necessarily your crosshair, and get used to the spray as it goes. Practice the spray spray patterns in training room and really start to get a feel for how you need to pull down and how you need to change how much you're pulling down, depending on how far you are into your spray time. Now, something that you need to be able to identify though is when you can and can't reset. If you are in a situation where an enemy is literally actively pushing you and you're going to die, you know it because you've been through this scenario many times and you know that you're about to die, you have to basically full commit to a spray. A perfect example of this is if you challenge one guy, kill him, and then an enemy swings you right afterwards. You don't have time to reset at all. You have to full commit to a spray. So typically that's where you'll crouch, that's where you'll spray, you'll do whatever you can to get that kill, because resetting means you're gonna die. Now, something that you need to know about resetting your aim though is if you are in a situation where you're shooting at an enemy, you realize your recoil is all over the place, you want to reset. Something I see a lot of low players do, low SR players do, is they will stand still or they'll crouch, let their reset happen, and then they'll start shooting again. The problem with that is you're not moving anywhere. It's very easy to line up a shot with you. If you're gonna reset, you need to actually either reposition slightly. You can go behind cover, or you need to take a counter strafe to the right, counter strafe to the left, so that you can reset. It's a little bit harder so an enemy can't line up their shots onto you, and then you can try to get that first shot accuracy again. Now, speaking of just a random aiming tip that I wanted to throw in here, everyone's talking about the hold to zoom meta, which is something that I wasn't even using, but it's so damn powerful. Hold to zoom is amazing for quick scoping, which is very powerful, specifically on the Marshall. If you actually do the toggle to zoom, it's actually so damn slow in comparison. If you haven't done this, go try it out for yourself. It's freaking nasty. Now, the last thing that we need to talk about is the overwhelmed nature. This happens to so many people where they get peeked by multiple people at the same time, or in their freaking training or in deathmatch, they're perfectly fine. But in a ranked game, they get completely overwhelmed, they get jittery, and they panic every single time they get into an engagement. I think the best thing that you need to do is calm down and always resort to disciplined play. The reps that you have practiced, the A to B counter strafing, the consistency, this is what you need to resort to because it's going to help you in times of panic. But realize that there is no easy solution to this. This is going to take reps and practice and trying to really build up that mental meditation, that mental toughness. That's going to help you perform a lot better in game. And of course, just going through the reps, because really the only way to build up confidence in anything is by believing that you can execute it very consistently. That's with anything in life, and it's definitely with Valorant. If you are unsure or not confident that you can hit a target of an enemy, that if you just wide peek out, then you're never going to get to the point where you're not worried or anxious or unsure. But realize that that's something that you got to work through over time, and it's not just going to go away instantly. But I hope some of these tips helped you. But if you have any questions, definitely let me know down below. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Go check out the GameLeap website if you want more in-depth advanced tips. I freaking love your faces, and see you next time.